At that time, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva Mahasattva flew upwards to the sky, just like a fire flame, and went forth to the heavenly palaces. Having arrived at the heaven, he transformed himself into a Brahmin. Among the heavenly people there was a god named Wonderfully Adorned Ear, who was constantly suffering from the retribution of poverty. At that time, the Brahmin that Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva had transformed into went to where the god was and said to him, "I am suffering from hunger, tiredness, and thirst." The god wept and told the Brahmin, "Now I am so poor that I have nothing to offer you." The Brahmin said, "In order to do my work, you should donate at least something, no matter how little it is." The god then went into his palace and searched up and down to find something. Suddenly he found some huge, precious containers filled with rare treasures, and some other precious containers filled with superior delicious drinks and foods. And moreover, plenty of superior wonderful clothes for adorning bodies had also appeared in the palace. The god then thought, "The Brahmin, now outside the door, must be an unimaginable person, so that he can make me gain this especially extraordinary blessing." Thereupon the god invited the great Brahmin to his palace and offered him the heavenly wonderful treasures and heavenly superior delicious foods and drinks. Having accepted the offerings, the Brahma made a wish. "May you live in peace and comfort, and have a long life." Then the god asked the Brahmin, "Sage, where do you come from?" The Brahmin said, "I come from the great sublime abode of Jeddah Grove." The god asked, "How is that place?" The Brahmin said, "In the great sublime abode in Jeddah Grove, the ground is pure. Many kalpataru trees adorned with heavenly Mani treasures appeared. Various wish-fulfilling Mani pearls appeared. Various precious pools appeared. Innumerable great people who have majestic virtues of precept-keeping and have great wisdom are present too. And there is a Buddha named Visbhabhu Tathagata. In that place where sages and heavenly people are staying, there are such miraculous transformations and manifestations." Then the god said, "Sage, who are you, great Brahmin? Please tell me honestly, are you a god or a human? Sage, why is such a holy scene manifesting now?" Then the Brahmin said, "I am neither a god nor a human. I am a bodhisattva who wishes to save and ferry all sentient beings, to make them all get to see the great Bodhi way." Having heard that, the god then held up the heavenly wonderful precious crowns and beautiful ear ornaments to make an offering, and said a verse. "I have met the ground of merits and virtues, which is free from sins and filths. Just now I have sowed the seed in the field of supremacy, and instantly gained the fruit of repayment." When the god was speaking this verse, the Brahmin's mission of enlightening and ferrying had been accomplished, so he left the heavenly palace and went to a state named Lion. Having arrived, he stood in the presence of many Raksa girls, while the body and the visage that he was manifesting was very beautiful, sublime, and rare. When the Raksa girls saw that appearance, they aroused thought of desire. With joy and love in their heart, they walked close to the Bodhisattva and said, "You can be my husband. I am a virgin who was not betrothed. Please be my husband. Now that you are here, so do not go anywhere else. Just like making decisions for those who cannot decide, and like lighting up a bright torch for a dark room. Now, my place has drinks, foods, clothes, and abundant reserves, and also has delightful gardens and joyful ponds." The Bodhisattva said to the Raksa girls, "You should now listen to me." The Raksa girls said, "Yes, we will be glad to hear. What are you going to say?" The Bodhisattva then spoke the correct eightfold path and the Four Noble Truths for them. Having heard the Dharma, the Raksa girls achieved different fruitions individually. Some of them achieved the fruition of stream enterer, and some of them achieved the fruition of once returner. They became free from the sufferings of greed, anger, and ignorance, would no longer arise evil thoughts in their mind, would no longer be willing to kill, and their hearts became fond of Dharma and fond of keeping precepts. They said, "From now on, we will never kill any living being," just like the precept-keeping people in the southern continent Jambuvaipa, who live on pure and clean drinks and foods. From now on, we will live the same lives as them. Having made the Raksa girls no longer commit any evil karma and accept and uphold the virtuous Dharma, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva Mahasattva left the lion state and went to a filthy and disgusting place in Varanasi big city. Dwelling in that place, there were innumerable hundreds of thousands of 10,000s of sentient beings of the kinds of worms and maggots. In order to save and ferry those sentient beings, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva transformed into a bee and went there, uttering the sound, Namo Buddhaya. Those worms and maggots all followed what they had heard to chant the phrase. By the power of that, the view of a self in the body that those sentient beings were attaching to, which was like mountains and peaks, though together with their various objective delusions, were all completely destroyed by the Vajra wisdom pestle. Thereupon, all of them were reborn in utmost bliss world and became bodhisattvas with the same name, Wonderful Fragrance Mouth.